thank you very much for speaking with us. Let me first ask you, you saved a lot of lives in the first 2 days, the 7th and the 8th. Can you take us through what happened then?
Well, first and foremost, I need to say that it was not such an heroic action, and I didn't save lives. I took, and people under threat from the endangered area out of it. They saved themselves. I have to mention that. It's not because of a modesty. That's just, it's about reality. That's what happened there. So
How did they save themselves,
big,
sir? How did they save themselves,
I,
and what happened? What did you see, sir? I appreciate
well,
what you're saying. Thank you.
I went to the south as the special envoy of the commanding officer of the Home Front Command. I commanded the Home Front Command previously between the years 2008 to 2011. I have, a lot of connections in this fantastic command, which is really, really a worldwide and well-known civil defense establishment. We are very proud about it. And therefore, when I heard at Saturday morning that something really, really horrific happened in the south, I put my uniform on as a reservist, and I went straight away to the headquarters. Then I realized that we don't know really what is happening there. And I asked, as I mentioned, the commanding officer to be a special envoy. And that's what I did. After I reached the district headquarters in the south, I realized that the battle was over. I helped there, a bit to reorganize themselves. And then I got a very strange phone call from my sister. And she told me that somehow she got a message that there are hidden persons that escaped the brutal attack on the natural party, and they're afraid to get out of the bushes because they don't know where are the terrorists, at that particular moments or hours. So, and she asked me whether, as a major general, whether I can help them. So I asked her, all right, send me the exact location. And I got the exact location. It was not very far from the place I was at that time. So it was, about 10 kilometers, maybe 15 kilometers. So I started to drove my car in order to take them out. I'm a well-experienced soldier, so I can smell where is danger and where is less danger. And I realized that it's okay. I took some risk, but I don't consider that, among the risks I took along my career, it was reasonable. And I found them, and I take them out. And then I got another phone call. Can you take my son out of the inflicted area? Please send me a location. Well, I got a very bad location, but somehow I managed to contact them, and the guy explained to me that, all right, it's here, it's, what you see from your right, what you see from your left, all right, look at the sun, what you see in front of you. And by doing that, I managed to find them, and then I took them out. And then I got another phone call. Can you take my relative out of the inflicted area? And I did it, for the third time. I did it again. In the third case, it was a bit more dangerous. And fortunately, really fortunately, while driving my car, I found an officer I know for many years crossing my road. So I blink to him, all right, stop. And then we did it together. We managed to find this guy and take him out of the area and the endangered area. So this is the story. Again, it's not such an heroic issue. I think that we need to understand that it's a tectonic event. Israel, after this war, will be different, hopefully for the better. The region will be different, hopefully for the better. I think that right now people around the globe do understand that what we have experienced is a brutal attack. The cruelty was almost unbelievable. And for what? You know, to kill babies, to rape women, it's really disgusting. And it's not about freedom fighters. It's not about the occupation or not occupation. It's about pure brutality. And we need to fight together, pure brutality. You know, I think I know a bit about the Indian history. And I think that you understand exactly what I'm talking about. And therefore, we need to see it as a battle, as a war between light and darkness, between good and bad, between good and evil. And all the rest, all the political issues are, something we need to define, to create a strategy, to put a vision for the Israeli society and for the Israeli nation. Yes, we have a terrible leadership right now. I call Benjamin Netanyahu to resign immediately. Immediately. After such a failure, you cannot remain a prime minister. Whether it's possible or not to change prime minister, at war, yes, it's possible. It's happened in the history many, many times. And maybe the last one, probably not the last one, but the most well-known one is Churchill replacing Neville Chamberlain in 1940. And I think it's a relevant and good example. You cannot lead a nation through a war without having the trust of the people. And Benjamin Netanyahu does not have the trust of the people. I trust the IDF, the Israeli Defense Forces. I trust the commanders. I trust our ability as a society to overcome this horrible event. But we must have a good and well-trusted leadership at the top of our nation.
Politics within Israel aside, the larger aspect is all Israelis trust the IDF, irrespective of where your political leanings are. The questions are being raised on the IDF, Mr. Golan, because what happened in the Gaza Strip with the hospital, you know that the first 8-10 hours, it was just Israel bashing. Now, every time the strikes go intense, there will be a certain amount of collateral damage. Now, allegation is that Israel is deliberately targeting hospitals, deliberately attacking a UN school, which is a place for refugees. I'm just saying, so that's the Hamas portrayal. Now, before the truth comes, there's a lot that is spread in terms of propaganda, and very easily, an Israel versus Hamas conflict or fight is then broad-based into an Israel versus Palestine. Oh, the Israelis always hated Palestine. They are out to wipe out Palestine. So the Arab nations need to come together. World needs to come together. Israel is bringing out this humanitarian crisis. You see how the narrative actually flies. Where do you stand on this? How would you explain this?
Well, I would say the following. We have no intention, and we won't do the things that our enemies do to us. No, we won't throw bombs on civilians just because they are civilians. We ask the population of Gaza City to move to the south of the Gaza River, in order to save their lives, in order to be in a safe place. The one who blocked them, not all of them, only a small portion of them, inside Gaza City is the Hamas, is the Jihadic Islam. They are working constantly against their own people, and they endanger them, civilians, because they want to put on themselves a human shield. This is a war crime, and we need to say it loud and clear. I can tell you, I'm as a reservist right now, but over and over and over again, we were very cautious concerning the uses of firepower inside the Gaza Strip. And I think, mistakes could happen, but the overall process in the IDF is according to the international war law. It's according to the highest military standards. And we have no intention, because of the horrible event we have experienced, we have no intention to abandon our moral compass. So this is the way we fought previously. This is the way we're going to fight this war. And we have no intention, as I mentioned, no intention to abandon that.
How is it that the Hamas have become so powerful and they have got so much money to be able to get such kind of resources? Who's backing them? Clearly, there are entities who believe that Hamas is not a terrorist organization, and they've broad brushed the entire Palestine issue with Hamas and the Islamic Jihad. So who are these entities and how are they getting
Well, I would say the following. No doubt Hamas is well supported by Iran, but we have to admit, because of the wrong policy of Prime Minister Netanyahu, he let the Hamas to be funded by Qatari money. And this is a shame. This is a shame. And this money went, straight to the military wing of Hamas. And therefore, they had, anti-tank missiles, anti-aircraft missiles, heavy machine guns, medium machine guns, all kind of rocket launchers, and so on and so on, a huge arsenal. This arsenal went through the Gaza Strip from the Sinai Peninsula, no doubt. It was done by people who collaborated with Hamas and with the Jihadic Islam. And this is something we need to stop. It's not just destroying the military wing of Hamas, it's also about blocking further building power processes in the Gaza Strip of any, military entity.
My final question to you, I have limited time with you, sir, so that's why I'm going to ask you this. Where do you see this going? How is it going to come to an end, which is going to be positive, not just for the people of Israel, but like you said, for this entire region? the world over, because right now there is support for Israel from one side. There are other nations who are supporting Palestine, and it's fast. Things are evolving. Another mishap or an unfortunate incident, and the whole thing could turn on its head. Already there is pressure on Israel to create a humanitarian corridor, allow people, allow medicines, supplies, turn back the electricity on. And as this conflict progresses into its many more days, the pressure is only going to mount on the nation, because the world can talk to a nation. You cannot talk to a terrorist outfit.
Well, I look at that as the following. I don't know what is, the exact developments of this war. Really hard to guess. The battlefield is the kingdom of uncertainty. So, and we know that. So it's really hard to predict. But I can tell you what are the goals of this war. So first is to destroy the military wing of all terrorist organizations in the Gaza Strip. Second is to block any building power process in the future. Third is to prevent Iran and its proxies in the region from intervention in the conflict. Fourth is to free our hostages in the Gaza Strip. And fifth, by the end of the war, and even before that, to start recover all our civilians around the Gaza Strip, which will be a national project for the next 10 years, at least. So I would say these are the goals from, a national perspective. These are the goals of the war. And, I didn't mention that, but it leads us also to the question how to solve once and for all the issue of the Palestinian front or the Palestinian arena concerning the destiny of Israel. It's not something I would like to elaborate about it, right now, but I'm sure we will be able to find opportunities to discuss it in the future.
You see this conflict escalating or spilling over beyond the West Bank and the Gaza Strip into some of the other regions?
I can say that I truly hope that we will be able and wise enough to enclose this conflict as a conflict between Hamas and Israel alone. It's enough.
Mr. Yair Golan, thank you so much. Continue to do the service that you do for your country, sir. Salute to you for that. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.